Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Podchaser, TV Live, and Rumble, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness, which is what this show is about. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words, no Kanye talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And that's why I have guests and topics to that end. There's plenty to feel bad about, but I always am going to try to give you something good to learn, to think about, to connect with. And today is absolutely no exception. I am so delighted to have one of my favorite people on the planet who I met when he was this high. And I'm grateful that we've had, I've imprinted on him as when he was a youngin', and I've just watched his star rise. And I'm so delighted to introduce you to, live in studio, my bud, my actor, Christian Ganiere. Hi, Christian.
Hi.
Welcome to my studio.
Yeah, this is exciting.
I'm so excited too. How long have we, let me put it this way. Do you remember how old you were when we first met? I think it was that first picture where I'm in a lighter thing. It was an upstairs event. You were like so adorable. You were on the Subaru. Okay, I know. You were on the Subaru commercial and you had just started the soap opera. So how long ago was that?
Wow. That means I would be 5.
Woo! And how old are you now?
I'm 13.
13. So I've known you for 8 years.
Yeah.
And you know, 8's a lucky number, right? In Chinese, you know how much I love that. So it's perfect. I have you on the show for 8 years later. Wow. I mean, anyways, I'm just so glad that you're here and we're celebrating your newest incredible role. It's funny. Did you watch Tiger King? Did you watch that reality show?
I was not able to, but I saw a little bit of it because I watched it.
So more people, when I said, have you watched Tiger King? More people have said they've watched Stranger Things than Tiger King. So when I told them that you were coming on and that you were on Stranger Things. So I just thought that was super funny. And that, no wonder what your IMDb jumped. What's the number again? I wrote it down somewhere. Do you remember? I have it from
Joe.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's it's not coming up. But I mean, you're on the map now.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
you were a little bit on the map and now you're like major on the map. And I had to go watch it, obviously, before you came on. So I thought, well, maybe you're like into, I didn't know what episode or whatever. You're in like the opening, like right there. I'm like, yeah, Christian's on there. And you got to work across Matthew Modine.
Yes.
Was that cool?
Yeah, it was amazing. I was a very big fan of the show before, so getting to work with him, see him, act with him. That was just like a total dream of mine.
Wonderful. Did you see the picture of me and him?
I haven't.
Oh yeah, I met him on the carpet of this big event in Beverly Hills, and when I didn't make the connection, I went, "Wait a minute, I know him too." So it's a small world, right?
Yeah.
Less than 1 degree of separation, and now my favorite publicist is repping you and doing PR for you, Harlan Ball. We'll give him a shout out. I got to party with him last night at Three Dog Night. And that was super cool. And I'm just so delighted. So let's start. Okay. You started acting even before I met you 8 years ago. So how old were you when you started?
I was 1.5.
1.5. So my guess is you did not say, or maybe you did, to your mom and dad, I want to be an actor.
Well, my sisters were going out for a while. They were going out, and one after another, they all started doing it. So I was like, hey, yeah, I kind of want to do it too.
Okay.
And then they started to drop out because they found other things they like to do, and I just stuck with it, and so it's working out.
Fantastic. And your 1.5, what were you in?
I know it's a little embarrassing, but I was in a diaper commercial.
You know, I thought I knew everything about you. That I did not know. So I'm sure it was cute, and it got you into, what was your next thing?
Then it was my Subaru commercial.
The Subaru. Now that was big, right? That basically puts your face on the map.
Yeah. It was everywhere. People on the street were like, "Wait, you're in the Subaru commercial," and I was like, "Yeah, I was." That was crazy.
That is crazy. Okay, I found it. You jumped from ranking 31,000 to 791 on IMDb. That's incredible, right? In like what? In less than a year, or just as soon as you were cast on Stranger Things, right?
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Now, your mom and dad, I knew your dad, director, producer, Guild of America member, and your mom, I didn't know this, is Emmy nominated, Rebecca. She's a prolific USA Today bestselling author and award-winning screenwriter. What's the name of her book?
Oh, she has so many. She's
okay.
She's
That's so.
She's screenwriter and book writer. Yeah. What I was most excited about is that we got to work on 2 movies together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we got to work on Rekindling Christmas and No More Goodbyes, which my mother wrote both and my father directed both of them. And I was starring in it.
So cool. And the one of them's Emmy nominated now, right?
Yeah. Both of them.
Both of them. Well, that is so cool. And one of them, your dad told me it's on a film festival. I'm looking at your IMDb right now. Let's see. The one, which film?
No More Goodbyes.
Wonderful. That's so cool. You, now, which soap opera were you on?
I was on Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives. I'm sorry I didn't watch that one. I only watched As the Stomach Turns. As the World Turns when I was in college. But what role did you play on that?
I played Parker Jonas.
Fantastic. So have you ever had like moments of, do I really want to do this? Because from the outside, it looks like you have the opposite experience that I've talked to a lot of people who have had to deal with a lot of rejection and a lot of no's and a lot of, that they're very discouraged. And I mean, looking at your IMDb, watching you from the front row seat of your life, it seems like success after success after success. Tell me what the real story is, if there is a real story that's different.
Yeah, you don't book every audition, so there's some times where I'm like, I get a little sad because I feel like I'm not booking anything, but eventually I get something and I do really well in it, and it ends up boosting my career. So yeah, sometimes you can get a little doubtful, but I always get up and eventually pull myself to reality and realize that we can go through it and get what we need.
Do you have a voice that says you're really not that good, or this is just because you were cute in diapers or cute as a kid, and now you're changing your look and obviously just growing up, and maybe it's not going to work? Do you ever have that doubt in your head?
Something that's very interesting that I thought about is I started so young and started going to events and I started presenting at the Emmys. And when you're a kid, you don't really have any embarrassment. And so I just kind of kept with that. And so I thought that was amazing that I started so young so that way I could have all that confidence still. And so, no, not really. I actually kept with it, and it's just been awesome.
Yeah. Well, you have a beautiful spirit about you that is not jaded by what you do, which is not always the case with actors. And I love it when he first came. We were doing the light check. I'm going to tell on us, and I said to him, were you embarrassed for me showing the little clip of us doing the bump on the red carpet? And he was very unself-conscious and he just went with it. And every time I see him, it's like the first time, and we hug, and I feel like I see him every day, but I don't, but a couple times a year. And I was I didn't want to ask him permission to post that because I was afraid you were going to say no, and I really wanted to show it. And what was your response when I said, were you embarrassed by that?
I thought, no, we've had so much fun together. It's just been awesome. It's just a bunch of fun. I don't see it as embarrassment or not. I see it that we were enjoying ourselves and we just had the time of our lives.
And there's another reason why he's my favorite actor. Just like I said in the movie. And the other thing that I love about us is our connection to someone who is on the other side. You got to play the child whose wish was granted in a beautiful story, the true story of Frank Shankwitz, who co-founded Make-A-Wish Foundation, and he's now in heaven. And I know we both miss him, and that you did get to work with him, and I got to interview him, and I got to be told that I was like the best interview, which is one of my favorite compliments from my work. And tell me what it was like working with Frank.
Yeah, he was amazing. I'm so happy I got to spend so much time with him. But every time I was around him, he was so peaceful and so quiet, and he was always so nice. And it was just nice staying around him because of how calm and just amazing he was.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad I got to spend as much time as I did with him before he passed.
Yeah, me too. Those of you who have not watched Wishman, it is definitely a great movie to watch, not just because Christian's in it, but it's the true story of a man who really, is my example of, a very, not an easy life, his own experiences growing up with an absent father, and alcoholism and all of that at Broken Home. And his work was to try to bring happiness into kids who have terminal illness. And Christian played that. And I want to give a shout out and acknowledgement to the guy who made that film happen, his first film ever, no experience at all. And he's a friend of ours as well, Dr. Greg Reed. And he just made my day a couple of weeks ago and said I was one of his favorite people in the world. So he as well is a wonderful person to be around and work with. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You know who is also a fan of yours, who's a fan of mine, who I'm a fan of his son, Colt Reed.
Yes. I just talked to him a few days ago.
You did?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he blows up my Instagram, and I told his dad, and he's like, oh yeah, he's a big fan of yours. Like, that's so cool. He was the first one to like it when I said that you were coming on my show.
Wow, that's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? I was so happy about that. So big shout out to Colt Reed. I don't know if he's gonna go into acting. I think he's gonna be just like his dad. He's a motivator, right? He's awesome. So what's next? Even though Stranger Things is still on the table, how many episodes are you in now?
I'm in 5. I'm on episode 1. I think 1, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So I have to go through 4 more before I see you again. But did you get to work with Winona Ryder?
I didn't, sadly.
Okay.
That was a little interesting to see how they split up the times. So they had me and a bunch of other cast come over to Atlanta, and then while they were doing that, they had other people over in New Mexico. And also, like, everywhere. Like, they were going crazy this season. Everything was like
with
so
COVID, right?
Yeah, they had to like bring in people single by single. Like, the main cast, they didn't just bring them in all at once. Like, it was just crazy. I think like at least 3 different people got COVID on set, even though we were being so careful. Like, it was so crazy.
Wow, really? So then that would shut down that part, for
we would have to shut down, quarantine for a week, then come back. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. My favorite is Elle. Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you get to work with her?
Millie Bobby Brown, yes, she was amazing. I really love working with her.
That's so cool. Now she's been acting for a while too.
Yeah, she has been, and I'd love to see how her career has really blown up. She's really an amazing, great actor.
Is she your favorite to work with?
Yes. Her and Matthew Modine were both so amazing, funny. They were being silly on set and telling me a bunch of stories. So yes, they were.
That's funny. Can you share a favorite story? Or you're not allowed to? What happens on set stays on set, like Vegas?
I don't know. It was a little graphic. Am I allowed to share? Okay.
Well, I am under FCC rules, so no bad language, and if it's deals with R-rated stuff, then let's not do it.
Okay.
I might get in trouble, but you can tell me after. So is there anything else that you're now working on that you can talk about?
My mom is working on a couple more scripts that we're picking up. So we'll see how those go. I also have a horror movie shooting in, I think, a couple of months in Oregon.
Cool. And what is your dream? Like what is something that you want to do that you'll say, okay, I made it? How are you defining I made it?
I don't know. That may be a tough one. John Wick 4.
John Wick 4.
Definitely. No doubt. Definitely. It has to be.
Why? Because you like.
Have you not seen the John Wick movies? They're awesome. Dude, they're so cool. Keanu Reeves is amazing.
Well, I just wanted you to mention his name. That's all.
Of course you did. Oh my gosh. But really,
well,
I love to watch them. We sit down as a family and we watch them, and dude, they're just awesome.
Well, there you go. You set the intention on the show, and things come true when people set intentions on this show. So we'll see what happens. Have you contacted him?
No, that's a good idea. I'll hit him up and see.
And then you can invite him on the show. Yeah, I think he's single. Is he single? If he's single, you can also introduce me,
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I'm going to make you my new matchmaker. Oh, my goodness. We're not going there. Also, I know. One of the things that I do usually at the beginning of the show is take a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So I thought this would be a fun thing for us to play. And that is what are 8 specific things, and since there's 2 of us, we'll do 4 each, that you are grateful for. And that's called taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. But I wanted people to meet you first. So I'll start. And then it has to be specific. You can't say friends and family. You have to say, something specific that you're grateful for. You ready to play?
Yes.
Are you ready to eat? You're going to take a bite?
I'm kind of hungry.
There you go. I'm hungry too. It doesn't feel right when I don't start the show with gratitude. Okay. I'm grateful that the friendly universe brought you into my life and that we continue to have a beautiful connection.
I am grateful that I got to meet you at such a young age and grow up with you.
I'm grateful that you have not let the typical fear, insecurity, addiction that happens to a lot of kids in Hollywood happen to you.
I'm grateful for having so much support with me by my parents, friends, and family. So that way I've been able to pursue my career.
I'm grateful that it's a holiday weekend where we get to actually go outside and do things this year since we're almost through the pandemic.
I am grateful that we have less sickness so we can go and see each other.
I'm grateful that we both know how important being positive, loving, and caring is in life.
I am grateful to be on the show and to be here.
Now, the bottom of the bun is called appreciation. And you're a great example of someone who did learn this, but you are definitely not the rule. You're the exception. Most kids don't grow up thinking that they are fabulous. Most kids grow up, 7 out of 10 of us grow up being told we're worthless, good for nothing, that we're never going to make it, that we're never going to get ahead. So as a result, we look for love in all the wrong places, and we look around, for likes and how many likes we have and how many compliments we get or how many shows we book or whatever that is, instead of knowing who we really are and how great we are. So the bottom of the bun is, what are 4 things that you appreciate about yourself? So those are qualities, gifts and abilities. So I'll say I appreciate that I am not shy. I have nothing to say. I appreciate that I have overcome the feeling of unworthiness that I grew up with. What do you appreciate about yourself?
I appreciate the ability to act.
I appreciate that I love to laugh.
I appreciate that I have the ability to make people laugh.
I appreciate that I am spontaneous. Example, I did not plan to do the bump with you on the red carpet that first time, but now I'm known for doing the bump on the carpet. What else do you appreciate?
I appreciate that I have the ability to listen. Because I
What?
used to
What?
that I have the
What?
ability to listen. Come on, you can't do me like that right as I said it. Come on.
I can't believe I got you with that. Come on, Christian. You know me better than that.
Oh my god.
He's never.
I just got fooled.
Oh my gosh, you got a heart too. Somebody just hearted you for that. So, okay, listen, your ability to listen. And then last one, what do I appreciate about myself? That I have a really good sense of humor. And what do you appreciate about yourself?
I appreciate that even though I've been moving, my body has been so tired, I still have the ability to push through.
All right. And that, my friends, was our breakfast together called the Taking a Bite of My Gratitude Sandwich. And thanks to Christian. He was my partner and we had breakfast together. And if you're listening in, if you're driving, don't pull over. But if you're not driving, if you would do the same thing and either email yourself with your 8 gratitudes, your 8 appreciations, go tonight so that before you go to bed, you're thinking about all the things that are good in your life, all the things that are good about you, instead of who done me wrong, I didn't get this done, I'm never going to, amount to anything, and all of that BS belief system that hurts you and keeps you from claiming your birthright to happiness. And I'm so grateful that I know that Christian knows that. And we're going to take a quick break for station ID. And when we come back, we're going to ask Christian for some advice. Those of you who want to look at acting, here's someone who has done it for 8 years. And I'm sure he has some tips for people. And that's when we come back here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. enjoy most of the time, have relationships that we enjoy most of the time, and use our unique talents, gifts, and abilities to fully express in the dash between birth and death. What if, as a direct result of this horrible pandemic, we could rise out of the ashes with a new PPP, post-pandemic possibilities? The sooner you turn "it's impossible" to "I'm possible," the what ifs become possible too. Because you are loving, lovable, and loved, wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness. But it may start with getting out of bed and making it. Want delicious Vietnamese Asian
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and you can watch and listen on my YouTube channel. And I see some eyeballs, so I know you're there. Thank you for the continued support. If you have any questions for Christian, please do type them in the chat, and I'll bring them up on screen. Or you can just listen as we continue our convo here. But before we get back to Christian, I do have another Asian Oprah giveaway, and it's a little bit different, this one. I don't know if I have any listeners who like metal, but there's a metal performance by Stephen Piercy of RATT. I have no idea because that's not my genre, but he is going to be performing July 7th at the Canyon in Agora Hills, put on by Where Music Meets the Soul. Dana is a strong supporter of the show, and he gives me free tickets tonight. Don McLean, Bye Bye Miss American Pie, and a bunch of other songs that Vincent, I didn't realize, was also one of his songs, but that's at the Saban tonight. I still do have 2 tickets. If you are spontaneous and interested in getting those, please go to drmarissa.life and put bye-bye in the subject line. Or if you want the metal Stephen Piercy of RATT, then put metal in the subject line, and I'll get those free tickets to you. But today, you can see I have a very special guest. He has been acting since he was 1.5. He is now 13, and I've known him for 8 years, and he's just a lovable, loving, and loved individual. Please welcome back to my studio, Christian Ganiere. And Christian, you can find him and support him and watch him and follow him on IG, Christian Ganiere, or you can go to his website, www.christian, and I put it down on the scroller so that you can actually see the spelling there. He has that website.com and or on IMDb. So you can watch, follow, and keep tracking his rapid, I will say, ascent. And get to his dream. We'll see how long it gets there. I know he's going to get there, but he wants to be on John Wick's 4. Yes, with Keanu Reeves, who he's going to set me up with on a date. So, and I'm only saying that because I've heard he does a lot of great things as a humanitarian, and you also do that. And I had no idea. I'm glad I got this from Harlan, that you received the Presidential Humanitarian Award from Obama in 2017 for your work with kids from intercity after school programs like See Me Learn and nonprofit organizations, including Salvation Army. How did you get into that?
Yeah, I've always wanted to help people, and
Okay.
I
Can you
don't know when
speak
I'll
just
get.
a little louder, Christian? I think we lost
Yeah.
some sound. I don't know if you sit closer to the screen, that might help.
Oh, okay.
Or okay.
I wasn't I wasn't sure what's going on, but I've always wanted to help people and give back. I know that the base in general that people have given me a lot, and I want to give back to them. So that's how I kind of got started. My family has been very supportive and helped me with that a lot, and I've just been excited to do it all.
Fantastic. Well, I so appreciate people who, don't just do what they do, but actually do things on top of that that help those that are less fortunate. And for that, I'm giving you're my youngest person to receive Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. So now you join your hero, one of your heroes, Frank Shankwitz, in getting that award. And I don't give that award to everyone. So I hope you take that and continue to do the kind of work that you're doing. All right, now your tip for actors.
Yes. One big thing is that this may not be for all people, but I genuinely find it hard when I don't like what I'm doing. And if I don't like doing it, I usually don't do it because it's just harder and I don't enjoy it. So it's just not something I would want to do or pursue. And since I've loved acting since I've done it when I was 1.5, I pursued it and have made it pretty far, I see.
So your advice is to make sure that you're loving what you do. So if I extrapolate from that, from those actors that I've talked about, if you are taken down by rejection and not getting the role more than you are buoyed by getting the role and doing the acting, then that's probably not for you. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah. So rolling with the rejection, I know that I don't know how many things. Yeah, let's go there. What's the percentage you would say of getting versus being rejected? That is normal, or that doesn't upset you.
Well, there's many different things. There's not just your acting. There's also your looks. If you look like the parents of the person you're playing, or if you look like their family, um, there's that as well as you have to have like at least 7 different people be like, yes, I like this kid. Now give him to the next person. And then they're like, yes, I like this kid. Give it to the next person. I think I waited I think it was 1.5 years. I waited for Netflix to actually agree to me for me to go on Stranger Things. The Duffer Brothers loved me. The casting loved me. They were just waiting for Netflix, and it took so long. I actually didn't think I got the role. I had been waiting for so long, and so they were like, "Yeah, we're just checking up. You aren't officially booked, but we're waiting." And so I was like, "Oh, okay." Kind of like, "Oh, well, they're probably just saying that, or that it's probably not going to happen." But it just popped up one day. They were like, "Hey, yeah, you booked it. So in 3 months you're going to be flying over." And I was like, I was shocked. I was like, I thought my mom was pranking me, to be honest. My mom was like, "Yeah, you booked Stranger Things." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." And then my mom was like, "No, you actually booked it." His manager just told me. And I was like, or is this a joke? I'm like half asleep. Is this a joke? And my mom was like, no. And I was like, oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it. It'd been so long. So sometimes you just gotta wait.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you told me that, because again, it's not how it looks, right? And if you want to be an actor, this is part of the process. That's why they say hurry up and wait, right? Hurry up and wait. So that seems true. Yeah.
You can't attach your personal life or personal things with you not booking it. There was actually a story when one friend of mine, they thought they did horrible at an audition. They felt like they did so bad, and they felt like it was their fault that they didn't get the role. And so they left the audition feeling so bummed out, and they were crying. And then their manager called them and went, oh my gosh, what did you do in there? They loved you. You booked the role off the first audition. They called me like literally 30 seconds after and told me you booked it. And they were like, what? I felt like I did horrible. I'm crying because of it. And they were like, no, you did so good. And they didn't even realize it. They thought they had done terrible. Even in reality, they did amazing.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, is that, never believe your MSU university. I call it making shiitake up, because your mind sometimes is like a dangerous neighborhood. You don't want to go in there alone, and it's not always accurate. So that's a great point. And I would love to spend the next day with you on the air, my darling, but I actually have to show a Michelin interview. I don't have to, but I have an interview that I do. I have to put it on before July 4th about getting prepared for the holidays. But I'm so grateful that you came on. I just love you to life, not to death. And I just continue to wish the best for you. Those of you who want to follow, again, his name, Christian Ganiere, and that is on Instagram, IMDB, and .com. So please do follow him. He has a pretty active IG, and I just wish you the very best. I expect to see many more things, including John Wick's 4. Yeah. All right, you know the drill. Ready? Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Thank you so much, Christian. Have the best day ever. Give my love to your mom and dad.
Of course.
Take care. Till the next time we bump on the carpet.
Yes, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, wonderful. Isn't he adorable? I could just. All right. And here is an interview with Michelin.
Tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio KCAA. And you know I'm all about balancing your life tires, but today I have a guest who is going to talk about balancing real tires just in time for National Tire Safety Week. And as a record number of Americans prepare to hit the road for the 4th of July, joining us today is a tire safety expert, Russell Shepard of Michelin, here to share important information for taking those summer road trips. Please welcome to my studio, Russell Shepard.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, please tell us how to get road ready for a road trip.
Sure. So there are two things I would recommend, or that I do recommend. One, make sure you can see. And what do I mean by that? Check your wiper blades. If they streak or make noise, that's annoying. Get rid of them, replace them, and check your wiper fluid. Top it off. The second is make sure you're ready to roll. Here's one thing I can tell you. I'm a tire engineer for over 20 years. And it all boils down to one important consideration for me. The only thing between you and your family and the road are your tires. So make sure the tires are ready to roll.
Good points. What is the most important thing to know about checking your tires?
So there are a couple of things I recommend. One is check your tire pressure. And if you don't know what your tire pressure is, you can find it in the driver door of your car, or in the book, or if not, you can talk to us at MichelinMan.com. You can chat, and we can look up your air pressure. The reason why you want to do that is because that gives you the best fuel economy. We know that fuel prices are high, and making sure your tire pressures are inflated can help you with that. And it also makes sure you get a smooth, comfortable ride. The other one is check your tread depth.
Okay. How do you do that?
So how do you do that? The simplest way to do it is called a penny test. Take a penny, put it between your two fingers with Abraham Lincoln facing you. So you're looking at Abraham Lincoln. Take that penny and put it in your tread all the way down to the bottom. And if you can see the top of Abe's head, it's time to replace your tires. It's that simple. Do it in several different positions because tires don't always wear evenly from one side to another or one position.
That's a great idea. All of these things, I wasn't taught about this. So this is like great information, especially, I don't know why women don't know it, but I'm glad you're telling me about it now. So how often should tires get rotated?
Tires should be rotated every 6,000 to 8,000 miles is a recommendation from Michelin. The reason why is because, again, tires tend to wear differently in different positions. And when you rotate your tires, you kind of average out that wear. So you get even wear in all the positions. And what does that do? Why do you care? That extends the life of your tires. And it makes sure you have even traction for braking on all your positions. So even
great.
traction
So it's not
and longer life.
It's not just economy, it's safety as well.
Exactly.
That's
right.
Perfect. And what tires would you recommend for family trips?
So for family trips, tires have come a long ways. An all-season tire is a great option, and they've gotten a lot better in recent years. Michelin, a few years ago, launched this Michelin Cross Climate 2. That tire has a 60,000-mile warranty, so it'll last you a good long time. In addition to that, it's designed to channel water, so great for braking when you've got a little bit of water buildup on the road, and it's winter certified. So if you're in a part of the country where there's snow, it's great for that as well.
Fantastic. Do you have any other suggestions for road warriors?
Definitely. When you're getting ready for a road trip or a season of travel, check. It's probably or maybe time to change your oil. The reason why I recommend you do that, and I'm a tire guy, is because while you're getting your oil changed, most of those tire technicians are qualified to check your tire pressure and tread depth, and they can even rotate your tires. So if you don't know about tires, that's a good opportunity to get your tires checked for the road. Oil change, ask to check your tire pressure, tread depth, and if needed, rotate your tires.
Fantastic. How can we get more information or maybe to refresh all the things that you said?
So, for tricks like the penny test, if you want to get a better description of that or some of the other stuff that I've talked about, go to MichelinMan.com. There's a whole section on Tires 101, travel tips, and even we can give you advice on the next great tire for your vehicle.
Fantastic. So that's Michelin, MICHELIN.
MAN.com. MichelinMan.com.
MichelinMan.com. Right. The
yes.
guy that looks like a cross between the Pillsbury Doughboy and the Ghostbusters. Wonderful. Well, thanks so much for stopping by and helping us with both economy and safety as we travel. Happy 4th to you, and have a great life.
Thank you, and thank you to you and all your listeners.
Absolutely. Go to MichelinMan.com for more information on how you can be safe over this happy July 4th weekend. Dr. Mercer reporting.
Insurance, maintenance, repair, all.
And there are some helpful tips that I wanted to provide you with that interview from Michelin Tires. And I just cracked myself. I don't know why I said that about the Michelin Man. My mind sometimes. Anyways, I do want to finish off this particular show with a little commentary on celebrating our country's birthday and the independence that we all enjoy and want to continue to enjoy. Obviously, I put the moose on the table earlier this week, talking about if you don't like what is going on with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, that being angry about it and indignant and protesting is part of the process, but let's also put some action towards those feelings. And I gave you a list of companies that support the privacy and the individual decisions for women. And those are the companies that I want you to shop at, and then not shop at those who don't. And so you can get that online anywhere, or re-listen to the show. I think I did it Monday and Tuesday, as well as the vote. You know, there's ways to vote in and out, people. And I hope that you are taking your feelings seriously and putting them to action, because that's the only way we're going to change and revert the ruling back to honoring and valuing the individual private decisions that women make about their bodies, and continue the movement forward. The other thing that I want to make sure that we don't forget is going to worst case scenario is not helpful for your body, mind, or soul. So as much as possible, if we can focus on solution and not go to, oh, this is the beginning of the end, because I want us to live in the United States, not the divided states, which it does seem like it's going. But let's focus on what we can do in our own circle. We talked about Stephen Covey's circle of concern, circle of influence. Let's take our own thinking and not let it go into worst case scenario. So that's my end of the week before the absolute wonderful birthday for this country of choice that I chose to be a part of after 9/11. I hope you have a very safe holiday weekend. Monday, we are off enjoying at KCAA. So I'm going to bring back the show where I interviewed Carol Baskin of Tiger Kings, in case you still think that she killed her husband. I did ask her that point blank. So if you missed that show, that will be playing on Monday. But I know that you're going to be enjoying the weekend. So if you don't want to wait till Monday, go get that on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for continuing to follow Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go have the best July 4th weekend ever.